Welcome to the CultCast, the best hour-long Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. One of these days I'll get this intro right.
The thing is, you never did the intro when it was 30 plus minutes. You only started doing it with hour plus and you still mess it up. Habit, I guess.
I know. Oh my God. It's like signing, like I had to write a check. I had to do it 3 times because I just kept on spelling my own name wrong. Over and over again. All right, let's try that again.
Okay.
Welcome to the CultCast, the best hour-long conversation about Apple you're going to hear all week long. I'm your host, Leander Caney, who can barely string 2 words together. Joining me today, we have D. Griffin Jones from Ohio. Hello, Griffin.
Good evening.
And Lewis Wallace. Welcome, Lewis, from Bernal Heights.
Bernal Heights. You know what's funny? Alexa, we have 2 Alexas in the house. One of them pronounces it Bernal Heights. The other one pronounces it Bernal Heights. Can you explain that?
Is it some weird voice you've chosen?
No, same voice.
Bernal.
Yeah.
That probably is the original. That's probably how it's supposed to be pronounced, isn't it?
Bernal, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Bernal Heights.
Banal Heights. Banal, is it banal or banal? I don't even know.
I don't know either. Anyway, all right. So this week we've got a really super exciting show. We finally have a price on the Vision Air, which is exciting. The lightweight Vision Pro headset, headset, AR headset that's going to be coming from Apple. We have this Lego iMac G3 that needs your support. Tim Cook can finally sleep at night again after this big Google ruling that came out this week. And we have a gorgeous studio display, dual studio display set up to talk about, which is kind of weird. The longer you look at it, the weirder it gets. And then we are going to be doing our predictions for the massive ore-dropping event coming up. So we're going to be predicting what Apple is going to be revealing at the ore-dropping event. And this is a super fun segment that you guys are going to love. All right, so I'd like to thank our sponsor today, which is Insta360. Now, I want one of these so bad. I might have to go shoplift one or something, but it's an innovative camera. Is just launched this last month. It's about the size of an Oreo, which is kind of unbelievable, and it weighs just 53 grams, which is nothing. And it's small enough to live in your pocket, but powerful enough to shoot sharp 4K footage at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second. It has magnetic mounts that let you stick it on lots of different surfaces and quickly get the shot you want. You can go hands-free, immersive POV shots with an incredible 156 degrees field of view. Shoot video for 70 minutes straight on a single charge and quickly top it up with the Action Pod for up to 200 minutes of recording. And it's even waterproof down to 33 feet. This is a fabulous looking camera. I really want one of these. I want it so bad. If you order one through our special link, if you go to head to store.insta360.com, and use the promo code CultCast, you'll get a free bag of sticky tabs, which will help you mount your camera everywhere, from winter down jackets to outdoor jackets to backpacks. These look super handy. So you get a free pack of sticky tabs if you go to store.insta360 and use the promo code CultCast. And this is only available for the first 30 purchases. So don't delay. Get over to store.insta360.com and get yourself one of these really fabulous looking action cams. And if you want more information, be sure to check out the links in our show notes. All right, so Griffin, what's the story about the new Vision Air, which is going to be the complement to the Vision Pro?
So the Vision Air is expected to launch in 2027, which will address the high weight and price of the Vision Pro, according to Ming-Chi Kuo, analyst at TF International Securities. Quote, "The new device is estimated to be over 40% lighter and more than 50% cheaper." So half the cost would put it around $1,750. Apple likes round numbers. They'd probably do $1,800. And a 40% drop in weight puts it at about 0.8 pounds, which would certainly be a lot more comfortable. The problem with the Vision Pro as it stands today is that they have the light seal in the front and their fancy astronaut looking strap around the back of your head. And it holds itself on your face by squeezing the front and the back of your head together while also, pulling down on your face and forehead and nose. So it's not terribly comfortable. I have I have a top strap accessory that I really like. But, cutting out 40% of the weight, that would make a huge, huge difference. I think another rumor suggests that Apple is probably going to include a slightly different, mix of straps in the box with the updated Vision Pro, with maybe a top strap included with it. I think that would make a big difference. They probably won't, continue just having like two different straps. That might merge it into one design. Because the Vision Pro is a very early product. That's why you send out an early product like it to work out all the kinks, figure out what the best design is.
Yeah.
But 2027 is certainly a long time for Apple's R&D department to experiment and work out a better solution there. Quote, Vision Air shipments are anticipated to reach 1 million units in 2027 versus existing models with shipments below 400,000 units, wrote Quo. So they're expecting to sell over twice as many. A redesigned Vision Pro model is also in development, but it won't be out until after the Air. That is the full redesign of the higher end model.
What would be the difference, do you think, between the higher end model and the Air?
I think if they come out with an Air, they can take the higher end model even to the next level. They could maybe adopt some of the weight saving measures that they've learned from the Air as well. But I imagine like a pared down version would probably have, fewer sensors on it. That was another thing that Ming-Chi Kuo wrote. Fewer sensors, lower level chip, whereas the high end model will continue to use an M series chip and maybe like even add more sensors and higher resolution displays. That's what I would bet.
Any idea what the experience, the difference in experience? Because wouldn't they be equivalent? Wouldn't it be like once you're inside the thing, would you be able to tell if you were wearing a Vision Air instead of a Pro? Do you know what I mean? The cameras are super high definition, so I don't know if they'll make any compromises there. Mm-hmm. The sound, I don't know. The experience presumably would be very similar, wouldn't it?
I think what's holding Apple back is that they consider the Vision Pro experience that you have right now with the first generation model to be the minimum viable experience. They don't want to compromise on display quality. They don't want to compromise on like the sensors or the eyesight. But so it'll take a lot for Apple to figure out what to reduce. They'll probably take out the eyesight thing. They mentioned like switching from aluminum to plastic in certain parts of the body, switching from like glass to plastic. So they're going to try and cut out all of the non-essential things before they even consider reducing the specs of it. What makes the Vision Pro special is, the immersive AR experience of it, like, mixing the cameras that you see with the software interface. But as far as we know, that all runs on the R1 chip, the special chip that they make just for the Vision Pro. So you could probably reduce the, M2 or M4 down to an A series chip without affecting a lot of its performance significantly. A lot of the best things you use a Vision Pro for aren't very computationally heavy. They're like graphically heavy and, augmented reality heavy, which the R1 chip is already handling. So they've got a few ways that they can optimize it and, trim the fat off of the design without making it like, as bad as a MetaQuest headset.
I've got a MetaQuest headset too, and the difference in quality is unbelievable. It's hardly comparable. Mm-hmm. It's way less quality. Do you think 1,700 though? I mean, that's still a premium price. That's still a lot of money. I can't see that. 1 million units for Apple is barely anything. I mean, when did they last sell a product that shipped only 1 million units? That's hardly anything.
Yeah, I mean, original HomePod maybe, but probably even less.
Yeah, right. Right. But it's still a magical experience. It's still it is an amazing way to watch content, and the only way to watch this amazing content. But it's definitely not mainstream. I haven't seen hardly anything about the Vision Pro for months. It's definitely not setting the socials on fire. No one's talking about it. There's a few developers that I follow on Twitter that talk about this or that experience that Apple drops, but it's not breaking through the mainstream at all. Mm-hmm. At all. It's
a shame because Vision OS 26, the new update that they have for it, has some truly incredible improvements in it. Like the widgets that you can pin to a wall are incredible. The new personas are like genuinely very good looking. I think they've crawled their way out of the uncanny valley. They look really good. I kind of want to do an episode of the CultCast using my persona instead of my video to see how that works. Make all of you in the audience guinea pigs in that regard. But whether this is Tim Cook's like personal passion project or not, like they're putting effort into this.
Yeah, significant effort, isn't it? I mean, it's a massive undertaking. It's funny how you don't hear anything from Meta either about Zuckerberg and the metaverse. I mean, that's been completely overshadowed by his AI projects now.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to have taken a back seat. But 2027, was there any indication about when in 2027 it was going to come out? Was it going to be earlier in the year or later?
Probably later if I had to hazard a guess, but
Yeah. I don't wonder if do you see? I haven't been down the Apple Store for a long time, but a lot of the Apple stores have dedicated demo areas for the Vision Pro. I saw some picture on Twitter. Someone was saying it was completely empty.
Tumbleweeds.
No one was down there taking the demo. The demo though is amazing. It's like if you don't have one, it's well worth a trip to go see it because it is truly a jaw-dropping experience.
I only go to the Apple Store really to pick up products and or return products 2 weeks later. And I'm always going like early in the morning around 9 a.m. So I couldn't tell if it's like because of lack of interest or if, it's just because I'm going early in the morning. But yeah, I never see anybody at my local Apple stores either at the Vision Pro table.
I should go down to the big Union Square store here in San Francisco, which is always packed with tourists, and see whether anyone's doing that. The place is usually just jam-packed with people anyway. I'll go check it out one day.
It's like a free 30-minute movie, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like people should just do it just for kicks.
If it's a wide open schedule, they'll probably just let you watch like a whole thing on it. Do you think $1,800 is enough to open it up for a big new market of people to bite on it and buy it?
Still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I mean, people freak out about spending $1,000 on a new iPhone, that they use all day, every day, that they're completely, welded to. And this is, almost twice the price of that. So I think, no, there's no way this is a mainstream price either. It's still going to be a luxury. And they still haven't cracked that, the killer app, the must-have app that, makes this a must-have device. I mean, apart from the entertainment, the entertainment experiences are the one thing that you can only get on a Vision Pro. You cannot get that on any other device. And it is incredible. They are truly amazing. It's freaky as hell. Mm-hmm. And, I watched Mad Max Fury Road in 3D. Oh my God, it was amazing. I was totally blown away. It was super, super fun. And you can't get that experience on any other device. But even at $1,700, I mean, no one's going to pay $3,500 for that unless they're crazy like I am. But, $1,700, no, it's still way too much. I mean, it would have to be half that again, I think, for that to become a mainstream, to appeal to a mainstream audience. But, it's better. It's getting there. I mean, if you look back at the old prices, and in our today of Apple history, it's kind of fun to see the prices that they used to charge for these crummy old Macs.
Jeez, crummy.
Yeah.
Well,
it took 6 years for the Macintosh Classic to come out to finally be the first Macintosh under $1,000, and that was in $1,990. So it's still actually closer to like $2,500, but still the prices were insane.
So they're getting there. It's getting down there.
I want to know how often you guys use the Vision Pro at this point.
I've been using it a little less frequently over the summer because Vision OS 26 was a little buggy in WordPress in Safari. And I used to use it all the time as a writing tool. I need to sit down and focus and crank out 2,000 words. The Vision Pro is great for that. But WordPress has been so buggy in Safari that I haven't been using it as much.
Yeah, you're probably the only person in the entire country who's been using it regularly. And even that's dropping off. That's not good news for Apple, not good news for the Vision Pro. I strapped it on to download the beta, and then I took it, and then I took it off, and then I put it on again. But
wow.
I'm gonna. In fact, I'm gonna check it out today. But the problem is in the house here, it's just too isolating. It's like if Although actually, the last time I wore it around the house, no one even blinked an eye, you know, and I was talking to everybody, and no one said a peep. But
They're too afraid.
I wish I had like fly on the wall kind of camera footage of you walking through the house wearing that thing, and your whole family, the whole Caney family, like eyeing you, and yeah,
They're all
blinked an
whispering
eye.
before you enter the room, "Don't say anything."
no.
That's weird that they're so nonplussed because whenever anybody else is in the house and I put it on, everybody's freaked out by the eyes on the front. They find it like genuinely
Right.
creepy and don't want to like look at me.
They are creepy.
Yeah, because they're right, but still.
Did they improve that? Has that improved in the beta? The
How would Griffin
look at
know?
the eyes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't you look in a mirror?
I haven't looked. You'd think that with I think the problem with the display on the front is that it's really dim and really blurry. Even though the personas have improved significantly, I don't know that the eyesight display on the front has at all. I'll have to give it another look.
Yeah, right. That's baked into the hardware. Nothing something they can tweak, but maybe they can make it brighter. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, here's a product that actually also might cost a fortune when it comes out. It's a Lego iMac G3. Now, I was really blown away by this. I thought the pictures were fantastic. I thought, my God, this really looks like a really nice looking Lego model. It's a fan design from someone called Terama, and he made an iMac G3 in Lego and submitted it as a Lego product idea. 700 parts that goes this all-in-one desktop, and it even includes the much maligned Hockey Pokey mouse. It features the classic macOS startup screen that appears on the Lego CRT, and of course much of the exterior is translucent. You know, it wouldn't look much like a G3 otherwise. You can pop off the top to reveal the CPU and other internal electronics. I thought that was a really nice touch. Actually, it really does look good. You can check out the inside of the thing, the guts of the thing. Terama has submitted this to Lego as a proposed set to someday go on sale, and Lego has this program that if a product idea gets 10,000 supporters from the fan community, it gets considered for a production as a real life Lego set. And I think they've done a few of these. Do you guys know?
Oh yeah, they've done a bunch
few
of them. This is a very really popular program, and they've even done like promotional tie-in stuff before. Like I think the Lego Friends set and maybe even like the Lego Seinfeld set, stuff like that, have been submitted as fan ideas through this thing. So they've done, you know, it's not like a fantasy like, oh, you know, we'll submit this, you know, Ford Mustang thing, but it'll never get made. Like Lego's actually done like brand collaborations from fan idea sets before, never with Apple. I have very little confidence that Apple, the company, would approve such a thing. But you know, if you show them your support, it'll help.
That's true. So if you go to the Lego website and you hit the support idea button on the iMac G3 proposal page, and we'll include a link to this, it has currently about 5,000 supporters. So if you're interested in this, yeah, go over there and vote. It needs 10,000 for them to consider it. And then of course there's Apple. Do you remember there was an Apple retail store that was a popular one, wasn't it? That came up a couple of years ago. I think that people voted on, but I guess that hasn't been made into a product.
Hey, it's up to 8,500 supporters now.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow!
Wow, it's catching fire.
They just need that CultCast push.
Yeah. Do it now.
It's really nice looking. You definitely got to check out the pictures.
Oh, yeah.
The guy did a beautiful job of this. It really looks fun. Any idea how big is this thing?
Judging from the pictures, it looks like it'd be about that big. I don't know, a few inches maybe.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, but it's really remarkable how they get the proportions so correct out of, you know, bricks. You know, it's made out of bricks. I know they're using a lot of the special parts. Like, I guess that's a standard Lego part to have like a weird sort of egg-shaped translucent blue piece. I can't imagine what other set that would be a part of or where it came from, but you know, there are these programs where you can search, like 3D modeling programs, where you can search through the database of every Lego part that's ever been made and make a 3D model out of Lego, and you can even like replicate instructions, and that's where a lot of these Lego ideas sets come from. But apparently all the parts were there to fashion like a recognizably, you know, iMac G3. It doesn't really look like a one of the knockoffs from the early 2000s. It looks like an iMac. It's pretty remarkably done.
Yeah, nice job. Very, very nice job. I used to love Lego. playing with Lego as a kid. But it's hours and hours of sifting through, looking for the part that you needed. That was my main memory of it. And then, of course, stepping on a
Right.
Lego piece on your bare feet.
I wasn't going to mention that, but that's what I remember.
I mean, the pro tip to sorting your parts is to not sort them by color, sort them by shape, because it's easier to find the part that you want of the color that you want in a bin of similar parts than it is to sift through a bunch of identical looking colors. That's the pro tip there. That's my
Pro
how-to
tip,
of the
all
week.
right.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Nice one there, Griffin. Nice. Very good. All right, cool. So let's move on to our next story, which Lewis is going to tell us about. This is, Tim Cook, I think, has been tossing and turning, worried about this big Google antitrust case that the judge finally passed a judgment on this week, and he can rest easy.
Yeah, Apple's lucrative Google search deal is safe. Google continue its search deal to pay Apple billions of dollars a year for a prime spot as Safari's default search engine, as long as it's not an exclusive placement, whatever that means.
Well, this is...
What?
Yeah, I'll rant about this afterwards.
Okay, yeah. So this is all part of the big, what is it? I can't even remember, U.S. et al. Versus Google or whatever antitrust case. It's been going on for years. I'm sorry, U.S. government sued Google, and they have been determined to be a monopoly. And now this is part of the how do we deal with that monopoly type of thing. And one of the things that was in play was like maybe they're going to make it impossible for Google to pay Apple and other people, other companies, to make Google the default search. And for Apple, this is a big deal because it's, over $20 billion a year, which is like 5% of the company's annual revenue, right?
And you can see where the government is coming from for that perspective. Like, if you're the number one search engine in the world, you have the disposable income to pay the biggest tech company in the world to be the one and only like default search engine option now and forever. And that prevents, Bing from becoming as popular, or DuckDuckGo, or
Bing,
whatever have you.
I'm sure Tim Cook and everybody they're just freaking out, man, because if they lost this, it's like, where are they going to make up that money, right? I mean, and this was lumped into their services category, which is like the one part of Apple that's like seriously growing all the time, and that Tim Cook sort of, when did he decide to focus on that? I mean, it was, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. It's like services are where we're going to grow, and so they keep growing. Apple TV Plus, things like this, all these different services, iCloud,
and they keep growing that amount that Google pays them critically.
Yeah, and so anyway, this judge's thing came out this week. He said that stopping Apple from doing that would pose, quote, a substantial risk of harm to Apple as well as to consumers and Google's other partners. This I don't know if you guys happen to read this. I mean, the report was only the ruling was only like 230 pages. So, I mean, it was real light reading. My God, I was going crazy trying to figure it out. And when this news broke this week, there were headlines and people commenting on Twitter, some saying Apple's deal is good, others saying Apple's deal is now shut down. It's like it was impossible to figure out. I had to go read through a lot of this document. I was just losing my mind because it's all just a proposal. That's the other thing about this. Like, this is not final. The judge has asked the two sides of the case to meet and confer and present by September 10 a joint revised final judgment that is consistent with the memorandum opinion. So I suppose it could still flip-flop. I can't imagine that after this, taking this back from Apple.
I mean, this is like the best case scenario for both companies, right? Google, we've determined that you are a monopoly, but as part of your judgment, you can still keep paying Apple billions of dollars to be the one and only default search engine, and you don't have to get rid of Google Chrome, and you don't have to get rid of Android. Like, what more could they have asked for, really? This is like, yeah, you're a monopoly, but no, you don't have to do anything about it. That's fine.
Right. Exactly. This is what's crazy about it. I mean, it's like you've been judged to be a monopolist, doing harm to the open internet, and here the resolution is you can continue to do exactly what you've been doing. Basically, there's almost no change whatsoever. This exclusivity thing is complete BS because it means that as long as it's not, I believe, not exclusive to Apple, as long as the same deal is offered to other platforms,
Yeah, so Apple can say, hey, DuckDuckGo, how much money would you like to give us to be the one and only default search engine? And DuckDuckGo will say, we can give you
$20.
$50,000. And they'll be like, no, we'll
Right.
take the $20 billion instead. Yeah, okay, great.
The amount of
Open market,
money is
everybody.
mind-numbing for sure. So I thought this was interesting, though. The judge who wrote this incredibly long ruling, he listed certain things. He said why he thinks that this should not be banned, this payment to Apple and other people. And I found this part really interesting. He said that if they stop this from happening, it would mean fewer products and less product innovation from Apple, higher mobile phone prices and less innovative phone features, lost competition and innovation from small developers in the browser market, and less investment in the U.S. market by Android OEMs, which would reduce competition in the U.S. mobile phone market with Apple. So he's getting pretty deep in the weeds about how this is bad or how eliminating this would be bad, because basically he's saying if we take this away from Apple, Apple's going to be screwed. I don't know. It's just a really weird kind of a ruling, right? Like, I mean, granted, I'm not a judge or any kind of expert on monopolies or anything like that, but I thought it was kind of wild how explicitly he said we can't take this away from Apple because it will make Apple be less good, and it'll make your phone be less good.
Won't somebody please think of the tech giants?
Yeah,
Come on.
poor Apple, poor little Apple.
That's what someone's saying. It's like, that someone goes out and robs a bank, and the judge has said, well, that's okay as long as you share the money with, all these other.
Because what's the robber going to do if he
monopolists.
doesn't have that money? We can't charge him.
It's completely crazy. So, hopefully that the various state attorney generals that brought this suit, will strongly contest this and try to get a better judgment. I mean, it's also bad for small publishers too. This whole search data, they're going to have to share that as well. That doesn't do anything for search. Like one of the big questions for independent publishers like us was whether we would be provided with a mechanism to be able to opt out of Google's AI crawls without harming the search crawl. So at the moment, you have to open up the website to Google's crawlers to be included in the search index, but they're also using, your content to build their AI. And of course, we're talking about the decimation of the open web and the complete destruction of the independent, web publishing industry, because the two things are tied together. If you don't want to be part of Google's AI, if you don't want them to scrape your content, you've got to opt out of the search, which will, instantly kill the website.
And explain to people why that is.
What do you mean?
Well, maybe people don't understand what that means. I mean, these AI search results that Google is turning up, basically they're taking content from all these websites like Cult of Mac and other places, and they're serving them up as search results, so you don't end up getting a link to Cult of Mac. You don't get the traffic from Google, right? I mean,
Right.
I think that maybe people who aren't in the publishing industry don't understand that or whatever. And that it's a big problem for web publishers, because if you depend on Google for any amount of traffic, and we all do because that's how people find stuff. If Google's just taking your content and serving up a bite-sized portion of it that satisfies the need of the search, then why would anybody ever click the link to Cult of Mac to the actual source of that information? I mean, they're actually putting in some links now, making it a little bit more apparent where they take where the content comes from.
Take is the right word. Where they steal the content. That's correct. You were right.
But that's the dilemma for us and other web publishers.
Yeah, these AIs, I mean, they're hugely criminal. They are violating basic copyrights.
Mm-hmm.
They go and take all this content and synthesize it and offer up, these answers where, and people don't click. The great bargain is that Google would index your site, and if anyone was searching for information, they click a link and you would get the traffic. You get some traffic, which of course can be monetized with advertising it's like kind of a bit of it wasn't the greatest deal for readers. To be honest, the AI is a far better experience for sure. You can't beat and that's what's trouble. You can't beat, you don't want to fight the future, but this information is coming from somewhere, and it's coming from independent creators, independent publishers, and they are being cut out of, this. They've been cut out of revenue because the information has been taken by the AIs and served up without sending that reciprocal traffic. So it could be devastating to the open web. I mean, I've seen, there was a flurry of stories in the last few months from independent publishers who is what they call no-click searches. People do a search now and they don't click on anything. I'm conflicted because it is a better experience for the searcher for sure. There's no doubt about it. I mean, before you used to have
if you
to go
can
through,
trust the results. I mean, the thing is, Google is going to steal your AI. It's going to AI scrape your website, and then it's going to come up with a wrong answer that it's going to attribute it to you. So it's going to give people wrong information that they won't click on the source to see that it's wrong, and they're also going to blame you when it's wrong. So,
well, I find for some cases where the answer is quite simple, obviously you don't need to click the link. But if it's a more complicated query where you do want to confirm the data, then I will go through and click on the website. But some of the statistics that have been cited by like Cloudflare, they've been a big. This is a company that does a lot of what do you call it? CDN hosting for a lot of publishers, and so they get to see a lot of. I think that 20% of web traffic is routed through Cloudflare, I believe, something like that. Quite a big number.
including
So they get to see it.
cultmac.com.
Yeah, they've got a lot of data about what who's clicking on what and where web traffic is going, and they're claiming that. It is the era of no searches. No click searches. People are getting the information they need and they're not clicking through to the original publisher of that information. Especially if you use something like ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude AI. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem for publishers. It can be a huge problem for the publishing industry, for the open web. And anyway, this Google decision now. I mean, the judge said that. It's okay. Google continues to do this as long as they share that search data with what they call qualified competitors, which is just insane. It just makes it even worse. It's like this is not a remedy at all for publishers. This is like now the qualified competitors, they don't have to do their own crawls. They can just get the data from Google. It's madness. Madness.
You should have written the article, obviously.
I know.
Would have devolved into just angry stream of thought, screaming at them.
Right. Inarticulate ranting about it. It's not a good ruling at all for independent publishers. I mean, I was hoping to see Google totally broken up and forced to divest Chrome and unlink the search index from the AI indexing. But we're not going to see that, and I have very, very low hopes that even if this is appealed by the attorneys general, that they're going to come up with a better deal for publishers. Yeah, this is crazy. This is one of the worst rulings ever. There's no remedy whatsoever for anybody. It's like, you're a legal monopolist and you're allowed to continue your illegal monopolistic practices scot-free. It's crazy.
Never fear, though. Google's appealing, so maybe the whole thing will get overturned.
Right.
Never fear, Google's appealing, so maybe they'll get an even better deal in a few months.
Few years. I mean, it's been going on since 2020. I mean, it's astonishing how long this case has been going on. And it's, people are talking about it like it's like the first sort of big tech antitrust case in the modern internet era. The last was what versus Microsoft
from the mid late 90s.
I mean, if anybody's got a few hours to kill, or if, for instance, you find yourself awake late at night and you can't quite drift off to sleep, go read that 230-page ruling. It'll put you right to sleep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to our setup portion. This is a setup that's based on not one but two Apple Studio displays. And if you can't see the picture, what we have is two big Studio displays up on a monitor riser with a Mac Studio on the lower left, right, underneath the riser. And on the left, we have a MacBook Pro, I think. Is that a MacBook Pro?
Yeah, it's a MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
In some sort of stand that's sitting at vertically for some reason.
Yeah. With the bottom showing, instead of, which is a huge aesthetic crime. They should have turned it around. And in the foreground, we have your keyboard and mouse. It's an Apple Magic keyboard with Touch ID and a Magic trackpad and a Magic mouse. In fact, this is one of those we were kind of discussing this earlier. The more you look at this, the weirder it gets. Even weirder is the I was kind of wondering what was going on here on the left hand side. You have a MagSafe iPhone charger and an Apple Watch charger, which seem to be mounted at weird angles. I guess they're mounted somehow. They seem to be. At first, I thought they were floating in space, but they seem to have some kind of mount. So that I guess he could put his iPhone and on the MagSafe iPhone charger and have it facing him pretty well.
Yeah, so you could use that for standby or have easy access for it. But the Apple Watch one is if you were to put an Apple Watch on it, would have the screen facing up towards the ceiling, not facing in your direction at all. So I don't know what that's all about. There's just there's a white HomePod Mini as well in that area,
and it's cable.
Yeah, and it's cable just awkwardly strewn across the side there. It took me a while to notice this, but there's a pair of AirPods Max on the far right side. I didn't even put it in our notes here because I didn't see it at first, but AirPods Max inside the little folding flappy charging case, whatever.
Oh my God. The smart case.
Why does he have is that a muskrat?
That's a possum.
A possum, right. Yeah, why's he got a possum there?
Is the possum mentioned in the write-up? That's what I want to know.
When you have it zoomed out, it almost kind of looks like a Lego possum, but yeah, it's like a possum action figure. Just screaming
Which is
on his desk
ironic, considering possums aren't very action-oriented.
Yeah.
My wife got bitten by a possum a few years ago.
What?
Yeah, it was living in our basement. It was in a Halloween candy bucket, like a pumpkin-shaped bucket. And she went down there to get some Halloween stuff and put her hand in it, and it was all kind of furry. Then it moved, and then it bit her. Oh my God, it was horrible.
That's bizarre.
Woman. So she came,
Suzanne had almost the exact same experience.
Really?
Yeah, she went downstairs into the laundry room. She put her hand up into a box. She's like, "Oh, there's a furry, like a piece of fake fur or something." And then it went. Didn't bite her, but they are creepy as heck. If you've ever seen a possum, I mean, when they're not pretending to be dead, they are creepy as can be. Snaggletooth.
They got big teeth too. Yeah, nasty looking teeth.
Yeah.
So she had to go get a tetanus shot at
Tetanus or rabies?
tetanus, I think. Yeah, but maybe. Well, she hasn't got rabies yet.
Maybe that happened to this person's wife too, and that's why they've immortalized it in a toy on their desk.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't take.
It's a nice looking setup, though, isn't it? I mean, look at those two beautiful displays. That's a lot of screen real estate.
Yeah. Interesting
Centered
choice
an
of
angle.
wall art. You have like some sort of ticket thing on at least it's ticket shaped because that has like that little round cutout on top. I don't really know what it is. A little wall panel with two mysterious dials on it. I'm really curious what that does. Zooming into the desktop, you can see they don't actually have, of their desktop littered with icons, just a tidy amount of drives and some folders and things. A good number of widgets on the desktop. They've got like the battery widget, a HomeKit widget, calendar, weather, typical stuff. Not sure what that big white one is. I think that might be a reminders. Yeah, a reminders widget. So this is a pretty clean setup. And they've got that sort of, I think this was like the motif for one of the Apple product introductions, like the sort of black liquid with the chromatic colors all over it. I think that was introduced with like one of the MacBook Pros, but they have a wallpaper from that. So it's overall.
I don't care for the
handsome setup.
wallpaper. I don't care for the wallpaper. Do you?
It's pretty groovy, man.
No, not really.
I don't mind it.
It looks like a oily puddle. What about the little tray he's got his keyboard and trackpad in? That's kind of cool.
Well, the thing is, I usually use my trackpad with my right hand, and he has the trackpad on the right side as well. You usually don't want them to be at the same exact angle with each other. Like he has, they're in a tray that like keeps them snapped together. But I usually want my trackpad to be at like a slightly more tilted angle to use with my right hand, and the keyboard angled to the left.
Yeah. This is very definitely unergonomic. Probably got some horrible wrist pain.
Jeez.
There's some lights at the back of the desk that's lighting upwards. That looks pretty good. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, nice bright setup. This is among one of my favorites we've done. But of course, and I can appreciate a Mac Studio, but I would only do one Studio display, and I would do a better keyboard. Overall,
Do you
pretty
think
good, though.
each display is running off a different machine? I guess not. No, it looks like it's just it's only connected to one, isn't it? Because there's no menu on the right-hand display, which
Yeah.
would presumably be connected to the Mac Studio.
Or there is a menu, but it's faded out as if the other one is active, and that only happens when you have two displays connected to the same machine. So I guess I don't know how he connects how he uses his MacBook Pro, because it's tucked away, screen closed. I don't know if that one's controlling both of these or how he switches between the two or what, but
And why would you want to?
yeah, why
Yeah,
would
that
you
is
want a
odd.
MacBook Pro when you have a Mac Studio?
Right. So it would make most sense if one was one was controlling one screen and the other one was controlling the other screen, but they don't seem to be. Yeah, it's kind of curious.
Well, in the rest of the post, you can check out other setups. Though this is an article, a collection of setups that all utilize two Studio displays. So you can check that out.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So now we have a burning reader question and it's a good one. This is a great one. Thank you very much for this question, Intuitom.
This is a great question. So the the blood oxygen workaround, this is for the Apple Watch, is basically don't show the number on the watch. Everything else works as before. Why did it take Apple so long to figure out that workaround? And how is that simple tweak legal while showing the number in the watch app isn't?
So, I mean, as we've discussed earlier in this show, the United States legal system is very complicated, and everything moves at the speed of molasses. As far as we can tell, this decision to approve this kind of non-solution was decided on by a completely different organization, not by the ITC, the International Trade Commission, which had initially banned the Apple Watch. This instead came from Customs and Border Protection, that determined Massimo's pulse oximeter patent was limiting in scope to the watch and did not apply to the phone. So this is a different organization, I guess, made that decision. There was a whole investigation centered around whether Massimo's patents were limiting or not. The CBP asked the International Trade Commission, the institution that instituted the ban, whether or not they considered the Massimo patents to be limiting. The ITC responded yes. So this is the whole, you have to wait for communication between two government bodies. I mean, sloth talking to a sloth there. So, and that insight comes from John Gruber.
That was what the delay was. I mean, I bet that someone had proposed this or thought about this for years. Maybe this was their idea for a solution to get around it all the time, but they couldn't implement it until they had some kind of memorandum from.
Yeah. That's something you would want to double check first, to be sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and Gruber actually had some interesting things to say about the company. He is convinced that Massimo is patent trolling. They don't have they said that they were gonna they filed a patent, but they still don't have a product out on the market, and the patent runs out I think next year or in a couple of years. So they've only
2028, I think.
Yeah, so they've got quite a short window in which to monetize their patent.
I mean, they do have devices. What's he talking about?
Oh, well, I don't know. The one that didn't specifically use this particular patent.
This particular patent. Yeah, well, shortly after this happened, also, Massimo sued the U.S. Customs and Border Protection over the decision that they made that let Apple do it. So, once again, the people who are getting rich are the lawyers, because it's just continuing to happen. Lawsuit, fight, battle. You can just... who knows? If the patent expires, that'd be hilarious if Apple just waits it out. The patent expires and then suddenly, boom, everybody's Apple Watch works as usual, the way it used to be. The good old days when you could actually see it on your wrist as opposed to have to seeing it on the phone.
When you could do it once and then forget it exists.
Right.
Have you actually used it? Anyone used it yet on their phone? Have you checked your blood oxygen?
Sure.
Yeah, because I still have one blood oxygen sensor that works as originally intended. I'm still on a Series 7.
I think I used it once when I first got it, and then I haven't checked it since.
It's nice that it's going on in the background, right? And like the other day, I guess it was yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever. I wake up and I got one of those alerts from the Vitals app saying, well, 2 of your things were outliers, right? I was like, whoa, what? And said that my temperature was high overnight and my respiration rate was high overnight. And I was like, God, it's weird. I do feel kind of sick today. And kind of felt crappy the whole day, and ended up like looking at the Vitals app, going, and it shows in there all the stuff: your heart rate overnight, your respiration rate overnight, your blood oxygen percentage overnight. I find that stuff kind of fascinating. The fact that little device on your wrist keeps track of all that stuff, alerts you when something's slightly out of your normal range, so that you can consider, I don't know, taking a COVID test or getting a little extra sleep, which is what I did.
Mm-hmm. Well,
felt great the
COVID is
next
flying
day.
around California, so be careful.
That's what I hear.
Let's get to the fun part of the show, the part that everyone's been waiting for, the ore-dropping predictions. So this is where we're going to predict what is going to be coming up at the ore-dropping event, which is now just less than a week away, six days away, next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. So as a recap, Lewis won our prediction game a few months ago at WWDC, but Leander and I have the opportunity to kick him off of his throne. So these are the rules. We have agreed on a list of predictions for the event. For each prediction, we will vote yes or no, whether we think it will happen. Votes will be placed in the order of who won the previous game. So Lewis will go first, I will go second, and Leander third. 1 point will be awarded for each correct guess out of 20. Any disputes in judgment must be ruled on by Ed Hardy, a responsibility he has not been informed of, much less agreed to. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. Listeners, you can submit your own votes using a Google form that is in the show notes, or you can just go to dgriffinjones.com/survey. The highest score submitted before the event begins will be honored in the next episode. There's actually a question on that form that asks whether there's anything you want to plug or promote if you were to win. So you can find that at dgriffinjones.com/survey, or click the link in the show notes. 20 questions. Let's kick it off. Starting with the iPhone section. New thin iPhone is named Air. Lewis, it's up to you. What do you think?
Well, that means, of course, iPhone Air, right? I mean, you're not going to get legalistic on me, are you? iPhone Air.
Okay. You think yes?
Yes, I say yes. iPhone Air.
I'm going to put down yes as well. I mean, it's one of these things where we're all assuming that it's going to be that. And, and it might not always be that. Apple marketing is a black box. But also, I haven't seen anybody else propose a good name for it. So,
yeah, Slim. Come on.
Leander?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be. I'm going to have to go yes, too.
Okay. Here's an open question. All new iPhones are numbered 26. It's going to be iPhone 17 or 26. You say no? I'm going to go no as well.
Be an interesting move, but no.
Leander?
I'm going to say yes, just to be
Ooh.
contrarian. Well, because we'd had a big discussion about this, didn't we? It'll line up with the OS number.
Yeah, but then when they have the iPhone 20 next year, oh well. Sorry, Leander.
New A-series chips are numbered 26.
Boy, I wish that this was a yes, but I think I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to go no. Leander?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. All in on 26.
Just to be contrarian, yeah.
Okay. That strategy worked out so well for you last time.
Yeah, right.
Pro iPhones come in an undeniably vibrant orange color.
Once again, oh, how I wish I could say yes, but no.
I would vote no for this if not for those leaks by Majin Buu that showed it, and the case leaks that we've seen. I'm going to go yes.
We'd definitely have to call in a lawyer for the definition of undeniably vibrant.
Leander?
Yeah, I'm with Lewis. No. It's going to be a dull brown.
I mean, look, I honestly wish it were brown. I love the color brown, but Apple makes lanyard straps that attach to its new cases.
I actually thought they already made lanyards because, for the AirPods, but they don't, do they? So, you know what? I'm going to say yes because I think that they are going to make crossbody cases. You know what I mean? Those.
I'm going to go yes as well. I'm putting all my stock into Majin Buu here.
And wasn't there a leak? Wasn't there some pictures of them this last week? So
Yeah, possibly.
Of the actual lanyards or just the
A
cases
picture
with the
of, like,
lanyard spot?
a picture of a
attachment
strap,
point.
I think.
Oh, really?
some straps, yeah. So I'm going to go yes.
Tech woven cases claim more durability than fine woven.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go yes as well.
Well, this is a rigged game. So I'm going to say no, just so that I have a chance of winning, just in case.
They might introduce tech woven, but they might not actually say. Yeah, they might not actually try to
Yeah.
claim that it's more durable. So there,
I don't
there's
think.
some
Yeah,
logic
exactly.
there.
I don't think they're going to make those claims. I don't think they're going to go out on that.
Can I
limb.
change my vote?
Nope.
Because it's a good point. Like, they're not going to go up and go, well, those old fine woven cases sucked, so these ones are actually more durable. Oh, well, maybe they will.
Maybe. Satellite connectivity is still free for everyone. So, as context, every iPhone since the iPhone 14 has had satellite connectivity, and they've said, oh, it's free for now, free for the first year, but then they keep sort of kicking that deadline down the bucket. Is it going to still be free for everyone? Third year in a row?
I think yes.
I'm going to go no.
I'm with Griffin. No.
But shutting it off is like, I don't know, it'd be like endangering people.
I think they'll probably come up with some way of monetizing it where, like, maybe it'll run for free, but if you make an emergency, Apple
If you
might-
use it, they charge you.
yeah, I don't know.
I fell off the side of a mountain. That'll be $10.
I don't know how they will. Like, it's they baked in this very. I mean, it's very expensive to run. Like, running all those satellite networks. Like, I think they've poured like hundreds of millions of dollars into it. Maybe they'll just keep doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. But a price point on one of the iPhones is raised by at least $100.
They just raised the Pro Max, right? This last year was $100 more.
They raised it $100 a few years ago, but they left everything else the same. The iPhone 10 and, like, all of its successors have been $999 since 2017. Tariffs, who knows?
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes. I think the time has come.
Yeah, me too. I think it's definitely going to be going up, especially with new storage tiers.
Yeah, maybe. Apple Watch section. Apple Watch Series 11 and Ultra 3 feature 5G cellular.
It's going to make such a difference. I was thinking about this when I was just trying to imagine what difference it would actually make and how they could make it sound like it was a big deal. Then I remembered how much they tried to make 5G a big deal 4 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, the question of what difference will it make doesn't really matter. The question is, can Apple say this one has 5G and make you want to buy the new one?
Right. And also, will it be both or just one? Okay. Yes.
I'm gonna
5G
go,
red cap.
I'm gonna go no. I'm not so sure it would come to the Series 11 as well. So that's I'm a little
Yeah,
apprehensive
it's hard to tell.
I'm going to say yes,
there. Oh,
because they're going to be using the same chip.
Apple Watch Ultra 3 gains satellite communication.
Oh my God.
What's the current state of the?
I get so confused about all these things that I never use.
I'm not really sure.
That's fair. I think currently only the iPhones have had satellite.
I'm going to say no.
I'm actually going to go yes on that one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
All right. Things are getting spicy now. It's no fun when everybody has the same answer to everything.
Apple Watch Ultra 3 has some kind of blood pressure monitoring.
You know
The
what?
thing is, I couldn't write too strong language here because Apple's probably going to wiggle their way out of it even if they add it. So some kind of blood pressure monitoring.
So many of these, I have to say, I wish I could say yes, but I don't think that this is coming this year. I don't think they've got it together.
I'm also a no on that.
I'm going to say yes because it's offered on some of the other competitive smartwatches, isn't it? It's offered on a couple of other devices.
I hope you're right, Lander.
Hypertension warnings.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
be cool. We haven't heard much about this in a while. New colorful plastic Apple Watch SE. It's about time for it. But Ramir's been a little silent.
That's funny. I was thinking about that lately, not lately, yesterday when I was looking at this list. And yeah, it's been like, 3 years since there's been a new SE, and we thought we were going to get an SE plastic one like last time. Yeah, I say yes.
I'm going to go yes as well.
I'm going to say no. They're going to stick with aluminum.
I do write these to be a little deceptive and have you're technically voting on two pieces of information here. Maybe I've made a trap for myself, but we'll see. Other hardware. AirPods Pro 3 with health sensors and smaller case.
And the health sensor would be like heart rate monitor or something.
Or temperature.
I'd say yes.
I'm going to go yes as well.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Apple TV updated with new chip and Dolby Vision 2, the just announced feature.
Yes, and I can't wait for Dolby Vision 2 so I can see what's going on in Silo.
I'm going to say no. I think it might be a little too early for Dolby Vision 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I don't think. I think there's already a lot of stuff coming out, and they're not going to throw everything at the wall.
No TV at all?
No.
New smart display announced. It's got to come out eventually.
Yeah, no. Siri's still
not this time.
Still too stupid.
Yeah, no. I'd like to see it, but not this time.
Any new Mac, iPad, Vision Pro, or other hardware product.
Man, I think the only possibility is a Vision Pro with a better chip, but I'm going to say no.
I'm a no as well. I think this might be a next month kind of thing if the Vision Pro is going to come out this year.
Yeah, right. November. Yeah, I'm no too. Oh, you already put me as a no.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Even if I even said it. Well predicted.
Mm-hmm. My prediction for your votes is a different game that I'm playing myself. Okay, miscellaneous section. Apple spends over 5 minutes reintroducing iOS 26 and Liquid Glass.
And this means overall, right? Not necessarily a straight 5-minute segment.
I kind of imagined it as being like a straight 5-minute segment when I wrote this, but yeah, maybe we can be a little more liberal with it. Yeah, over 5 minutes throughout the keynote.
Absolutely, yes.
I was going to vote for this no, but if we're ruling it that way, I'm still going to go no. I think they'll want to keep it breezy, and I think they've got a lot if they've got AirPods and the Apple TV coming.
Oh, no. I think it's going to be definitely yes. They're going to be going on and on about it.
I actually went back and looked at last year's iPhone event just to research this question, and they spent like 10 minutes talking about Apple Intelligence. All the things that were going to be coming, which still aren't here.
Speaking of which, Apple reintroduces smarter agentic Siri.
Again, I wish it was yes, but no.
Craig Federighi did say at that internal meeting, he talked about the new Siri in the present tense. Yes, we've got it. Yes, it's working. We're going. It's even better than what we showed years ago. I'm gonna play with passion. I'm gonna go yes. I think maybe they'll re-announce it and it'll be like maybe included in a beta. Yeah, I'm gonna go yes.
Wow.
I'm gonna try willing it into existence. I'll be right eventually if I keep voting yes on it.
Yeah, and I'm a no, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Although I'd like to see it.
Very wisely, I might add. A new product is 100% carbon neutral. So for context, currently it's only the aluminum Apple Watch Series 10. For
with
this point to be correct, it have to with a certain band. I think for this point to be correct, it has to spread to a different product line like the stainless steel Apple Watch or the Apple Watch Ultra or the AirPods. But 2030 is coming up faster than you think. And it's still just that one product. So what do we think?
Yeah, they love touting that kind of thing. I'd say yes. I think I lost
as well.
I think I lost on this last time.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be contrarian, I'll say no. I'd like to see it. I think maybe it will happen, but I need to somehow get an advantage in this quiz. So
Tech woven, 100% carbon neutral.
Oh, right. Oh, actually, no, I want to change my joke.
No, can't do it.
Okay, final question. Event runs over 1 hour, 25 minutes.
Yes.
I think that's a yes as well.
I presume the last one was an hour and 25?
You know what? Let me check. 2023 was an hour and 23 minutes. 2024 was an hour and 39 minutes. It depends on whether they have like a lot to talk about or, just, regular stuff to talk about. So they waffle around that time.
What did you say, Lewis?
Yes.
I voted yes as well.
Okay, I'm a yes too.
Okay. Well,
It'd be at least 10 minutes of liquid glass. Brace yourself.
that's true.
Right. And then they got the iPhone Air this year, and brand new model. They're going to be going on about that for a while.
Yeah, sure. So we will determine the winner next week after the event. Listeners, you can submit your votes by going to dgriffinjones.com/survey or clicking the link in the show notes to see this. We will come back to this. And our listeners have the benefit of, watching us place all our predictions and, still placing votes after Mark Gurman spoils all the answers on Sunday. So
I love doing this every year or every event, and I love how during the event my heart just sinks with every announcement. Like, oh, there's another one I missed. Oh, what was I thinking?
it makes the event actively less fun.
But you won, Lewis, so
Yeah, well, sometimes you can't
you
even
actually got
remember
more
what you
than we
wished
did.
or what you voted for. But
yeah, I've already forgotten.
My confidence has sunk very low. I don't think I'll be winning this one.
All right, well, it's going to be a great event, isn't it? I'm looking forward to it. I think it's really going to be cool, even if it is pre-recorded. I think there's a lot of really interesting stuff coming out this year, and they're always fun to watch.
yeah, I mean, as much as I kind of complain about how canned they are, I mean, it's definitely action-packed. They're never cringeworthy like that Google one was.
And they're never boring.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Unlike this CultCast. All right, folks, let's wrap it up. That's all the CultCast we have for you this week. If you want more, Lewis is on Twitter at Lewis Wallace. Griffin's on Mastodon and Blue Sky at D. Griffin Jones. And I write the newsletter every day, the Cult of Mac Today newsletter, which you can get at newsletters.cultofmac.com. And also, don't forget, in the show notes, there's going to be a link to submit your predictions for the event, and we're going to be awarding the winner next week. That's been the CultCast, the best hour-long conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the CultCast come out every Thursday night. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Goodbye.
See ya.
All right.
Wow.
Cool.
It's coming right up, this event.